tax reform and everything. You see that memorandum of understanding that they signed with France? I'm very interested to know exactly what that MOU is about, what we have to do with France, because it almost seems as if we have ceded our so-called sovereignty once again, maybe without us even knowing, to another colonial country, to another, so-called colonial power, another colonial master. So we have to start asking some very hard questions. Are we truly a sovereign country? Is it possible that another colonial master can take us over with the help of, or certain influences or certain actors like Tinubu and the rest? And if that is possible, why arms and letting it happen all over again? Is it that we haven't learned our lesson? Are we proud? Are we happy to be servants or the convenience of us?
To these people,
to be subservient to these people. Because of our weak leaders. When is it going to end? We're still talking about this tax. This tax issue is something that should actually trigger people. This is your money, your hand-earned money. You are seeing it that the government is not doing anything, neither are they accountable. I think today I heard something about Malami stealing, is it 212 trillion or billion?
That is just on properties.
Naira.
No, that's just on properties. They found another, I think they found another maybe 300 or 400 billion. Another 42 bank accounts. That one is denying that they are not his money. This one is just on these properties they found. 212 billion naira. It's got to.
That is the value of all those properties.
University, secondary school, primary school, nursery, shopping mall, gallery. It's got all this stuff built in the last 8 years. 8 years. In the last 8 years, and this is one person. This is one so-called politician. In what we call it, in public office. Yeah. What are we doing? What are we waiting for? I keep talking about these things because I feel, listen, I've lived in this country, I've lived in the UK, I live in the US at the moment, for goodness sake. But I'm very, very much aware that this is not where we're meant to be, whether we like it or not. This is not where we're meant to be. All our intelligence, everything that we strive to do should actually be done in that continent. We have the ability to do so. If we continue in this fashion or whatever, we continue to justify those. In that trajectory, we continue to justify those stereotypes. We talk about Black people, their inability to manage themselves and manage their own resources. So they feel justified to step in and manage it for you. When the truth is that we have the capacity, we have the capability, we have the people who can do all of these things and actually move that country. How many Nigerians even know what is going on in the country? Or how many even understands when they know what is going on? How many of them understands what is going on? Last year, Tinubu traveled to France. If you remember that trip that he was meeting with Macron, it was like that. You remember? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was that trip where they gave him this, shop my money, I don't care. You remember that banquet dinner?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
That, right?
Yes.
Where they made Tinubu feel like a king from Nigeria that he signed off on Nigeria's rare earth minerals. So many Nigerians don't even understand what that means. Your uranium, your lithium, your every other rare earth minerals that you don't even know
that you don't even know
have been given key to access them. That was what that MOU, that trip did. But many didn't know or probably didn't understand. So
many don't know, many don't understand.
French companies already extracting different minerals in Nigeria since last year. Do you think they are not there already by now?
Of course they're there. It's just the French have been there, the Chinese are there, all of these countries are all there. The only people that are not beneficiaries of their own resources are the said Nigerians.
The Nigerians.
We're the only ones that are not. Yes, we're the only ones who are not beneficiaries of the so-called resources that we have in our own country. If we have politicians that, okay, you are getting something out of these rare earth metals, you're getting money, okay, so you're going to build roads, you're going to build hospitals, you're going to build schools and all of that. They're not doing that. They don't want to do that. Because again, an educated populace would be a problem for a corrupt government. Because imagine if you had an educated populace or an educated electorate. Do you know what kind of problems that will cause for government? So this thing they are doing to Africans, this thing they're doing to us in this continent is intentional. It is intentional to make sure that we will never rise up to challenge the authority. But I'm hoping that somehow something will cause that domino effect to happen. One thing alone will start that domino effect. Let it just start. And then hopefully we start to change. A lot of people call me and they say, if I've not yet chased Tinubu out of office, they are waiting for 2027. 2027, he will come and be your president again. After 2027, once that idiot son of his will come and be your president. If he wants. Okay? And then and then we carry on until we realize that
that would never happen. Like you've seen Nigerians say that to your face before. That kind of confidence. Well, my sister, forget that. I swear that can never in this country. It can. I'll be like, just shut up, please. Please, just.
Sheyi is already positioning himself. Sheyi is already positioning himself to be the next president. Not even to be the governor of Lagos State, to be the president of Nigeria. He's already positioning himself. So anyone who is thinking that that's not our future, we're looking at us, that is the future that we're waiting for. Unless we chase the current crop of politicians away from the country. Even just take your stolen wealth and just be going. I'm not even worried about things like the MOUs that they signed with all of these countries, because with a working government, you can nullify all of those things. Like I've always, and there's nothing they can do to you. This is your land. You cannot tell me that you're going to. You want us to honor the previous. No, we're not honoring it because those are fruits of a what they call it, a corrupt tree. So no, we are not going to honor those.
How could the supposed biggest, most populated country or black nation on earth be subservient to the French that we've not had any kind of whatever historical.
We don't have anything in common. We don't have any historical connection to France.
Hand over or give them access to our citizens' data through taxes, income, earnings, business and all of that. They will have access to all this data, giving us what back in return?
My biggest fear is that what France has done in other countries where they've moved their central banks and everything to France. Before you know it, everything will be situated and located in France. Just the same way that.
That's what they will tell you.
Okay.
Forget that one. It will never happen. Let it fact. When it happens, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do
exactly. What are you going to do? Maiyegun, I beg. Every time we talk about this, France, of all countries, although people who a country that is, is a third world country because it has nothing to offer to do in Europe. It has nothing to offer. It has no resources. It has nothing. France is a G7 country off of the back of African countries. If you remove every African country, if you remove France from the influence of every African country, it is a third world country. It has no ability to take care of itself. It actually needs this relationship in order to continue to be a so-called G7. And this is the problem I even have with people who are expecting countries like America to come to the aid of Africa. Think about it. France is a G7. Do you think that America and all of these other countries are unaware of how France is a G7? Do you think that they are unaware of how France gets its own money? Of course they are aware. They know this. But how many of them have challenged France? How many of them have said to France, you ought not to be doing this? This is not right. How many of those countries have done that? None. And none of them will ever do that because, again, this works in their favor. Either they're doing worse elsewhere or it works for them. It works to maintain that balance, that so-called, this is the way the world ought to be. We are on top.
West.
The capitalist West and the, what they call it, the New World Order, the something South, that's what they call us, and that works just well. They don't want us to ever change that dynamic. Do you understand? So they continue to do these things where they keep us impoverished because this is an intentional poverty that APC came and did in Nigeria. We are poorer because of APC.
Yes.
We are more illiterate because of APC.
Right.
We are sicker because of APC. We are hungrier because of APC.
100%.
And
that's why I call them Ekbekebe. A lot of people probably should go and listen to that fella's music, where he called them Ekbekebe na bad society, APC, Ekbekebe. Do you get what I mean now? This is the combination of the dredge of the society who have now gained access to important institutions whose decisions actually affect millions of lives. But here we have
millions of lives
running things,
and we have charlatans, like you said, running things. They affect the millions of lives here. They affect generations yet unborn, because we're living a broken government and a broken society for the future children who are not even here, who will have to come and deal with this nonsense. And I say to Nigerians, the time for change is not tomorrow. It's not even today. It was yesterday. So anything that we want to do now, let's not wait until France puts a chain on our neck before we know that, okay, some people want to turn us into slaves once again. Let this be something clear to people. Let us understand that we have never been given freedom. We have never been given any independence. We are still slaves. And in order for us to break all of this chain, to break this chain finally, for Africa to actually be on that trajectory of being an independent continent, we need to rise up against these people. We are more than them. They are not more than us.
Thank you so much.
Maiyegun, Merry Christmas, bro.
You should have a wonderful holiday, by the way. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Maiyegun. God bless you. I will do.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Anyway, I actually never thought that we're going to last this long, but we did. So I am thinking of us calling it tonight, but I can see a few other people still trying to call in, okay? But there is a news. Remember Sunday Jackson? The one they sentenced to death for defending himself against the Fulani terrorists that attacked him on his farm 11 years ago. Yeah. So he was on his farm. Then this Fulani herdsman, for no reason, right, decided to graze on Sunday Jackson's farm. Sunday Jackson fought, and it's kind of like a rebooked him to leave his farm. Then he turned violent when this Fulani herdsman pulled out a knife. And in the process, he stabbed Sunday. When he stabbed Sunday, and where they were having this scuffle, Sunday managed to grab the knife. Then stabbed this herdsman to death. So immediately, Sunday Jackson was arrested by the Nigerian police. And from then on, he was sentenced to death by hanging for killing a herdsman on his farm. The argument was that, yes, Sunday Jackson's life was in danger when that Fulani pulled out that knife. But the moment Sunday Jackson took the knife from that herdsman, Sunday Jackson's life is no longer in danger. He was not supposed to go ahead and kill him. This judgment got to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court insisted that Sunday Jackson must be killed. And since they campaigned for his release, self-defense, which is also part of your law, and since the law is no longer probably going to protect him, it became an international campaign for the past 5 years. Yep. So finally, Sunday Jackson has been released and pardoned, whatever they want to call it, is now free. So the Americans that waded into the killings of Christians in Nigeria, the persecution of the minorities in Nigeria and the rest of that, were also advocating, including Congressman Riley. They advocated for the release of Sunday Jackson as part of the conditions where they're going to know that if Tinubu's government is not protecting terrorists, Sunday Jackson is free.
Nice to see you again. 2021.
That was him. He's been in jail for 11 years for defending himself. He's lost so much. And right now, there is so much help that's being pulled his way. I have another caller. Let's take it. Hi. Hello. Yes, sir. Baba.
Hello.
I hear you. How are you doing?
Baba, more financially.
Same old Neo, you know. But just here,
How every
I suppose to stay somewhere for between Ikene, now deal with Princess, or Enodogbolu, deal with Yakofu and others and all of them. Sure, you get. But I did Glasgow, with the eating on right now in my Agbada, still feeling at home though.
No.
Baba.
Wow.
So
that enter where you want enter so.
Yep.
Yeah, but see that kind enter more follow enter with you. Anything will happen, me follow up all of us.
Anything will happen, me happen. Last, because back when you could know, Baba, sure you get me. So it doesn't mean that we are stupid and we're just going to go in there like, oh yeah, no, not like that. But I think it's time for, I don't know, because I personally believe one thing, right? That if somebody like me decided to actually make it a mission to encourage a lot of people, right, to actually really come back for a purpose, sure you get, who knows? I may actually, or we may be contributing into a revolution that some of us are probably not seeing yet. I think there are spoken to a lot of people, sir, that ordinarily,
the thing here is this, right? We going back is not the problem actually. There are a lot of us that today, if it happens, all of us go back. We don't give a shit what's gonna happen. We don't give a shit who is coming for us. But you know, the annoyance here is this. Even the people who talk about their problems back in Nigeria, they are the annoying part of it.
I know.
Because they are the ones facing this problem. And once you get over there, you're going to see if anything happens. There will be the same idiots, the same buffoons that will come and say, you see there, they will start speaking rubbish without thinking about what has been happening to them, what you have been bringing to them, what you have been talking about that is their main problem. They will never see it. That is where the annoyance is. That is why me always I used to talk, I say, look, if I talk, I talk. I am not fighting for any motherfucker.
Absolutely.
I am talking because it can affect me one way or the other. That is why I'm speaking up.
Because it is all I've got.
I am fighting
right?
for
because I may not have all the weapons. I may not have an army. I may not have all of this. But I've got this very much powerful voice, right? Where I believe that with lots of people who feel same way, okay, that voice could be amplified, both physically and also otherwise. So that's one thing that nobody can take away from us, sir. No one should let anybody take that away from them. And as for the people who are already their own, the defender of their own oppressors, right? In the midst of all these people, there are those, all right? There are those who are still thriving to keep their heads above water without following the bandwagon in that sense. So they might need encouragement. Exactly. You know what I mean? Something needs to shift from that next year. I don't know. I've never felt like that in a very long time. I'm somebody who will tell me what is going on in that place. I don't care. But somehow I started feeling like, I don't know this feeling, right? And I'm still processing it. So that's why it's not like I'm making a categorical declaration, okay? But you are going to see me next year, right? And it's probably going to be the riskiest or whatever of me that you've ever seen.
I mean, it's all fine, but I mean, or the only thing you can do, you don't kill anybody. You don't kill anybody. Nothing will set
the most shame is that they will say, I don't pay the names. Abi, they say, how do you know people who have holding on to be your mama names? I say, okay.
If not that one, me say what they are to see all this my outer people they most of my videos they go for no fun now. This money nothing with the benefit to anything. Nothing with the PG. I go come, you go come hold me say I insult you. So
that's what you're gonna do. Charge me for defamation. This and that. I'll spend maybe about 2-3 weeks in their prison, and then everybody.
Waiting me, I want even talk. Waiting me, I want even talk. The person with the can come, make him come. Thank God, my own case even get
the
at
American
this moment.
soldier, me, I know
You where they go. You where they go.
I know reach
You
your level.
you
So
see me.
you know if you brag same
You
way.
wait. No. More even leave that one back.
No,
The first
we
way
don't
they
leave
go
am.
send, sir.
Ahmed, don't they talk same way we leave
No,
am
wait.
like that.
No,
Jare.
wait. Make I talk one.
Okay,
That police way they go send come.
right.
That soldier way they go send come. I have made uncountable of videos talking about their welfare.
I know.
Me, I go come use myself do example for them. See how I dey live. Look at my life. Look at your life. How many years have you been in service? Tell me. Look at me. Are you mad? Don't you see that? Now there they go be like they never meet person go follow them relate talk well. If they go talk senses into their head. If they go they listen to them, they go they look say be like say this one now being be our main like 9 days our
Ahmed, for the sake of our listeners, Ahmed is a U.S. Marine. He's been on different international review for American government. It's American property. Me and you know if you brag the same way. If they slap you, wow, for airports. Now people will record them, go save my life. If they touch you for their airport, all you have to do is just to grasp the face and the faces of those involved. They will provide them when the final day come. There's somebody they go bring those ones where rough handle you for airport. Bring them here. But for me, now passenger will record and say, no be that Maiyegun they slap like that, but you know good do. What did the guy do?